I'm back. Yes, I've been gone. Been recording new videos for a while. The last one I did was Bambi the Reckoning. And well, that was a cluster of everything. Just a big cluster because I had to record that twice because the first time I'm just coughing through the whole thing. And so after I re-recorded, I'm like, you know what? I need to take a break and do more videos. I'm not ready yet. I feel like I'm getting back to the point where I can start doing videos again. So I'm going to do this one. A video I had planned because I saw a bunch of discourse on Twitter and everything about this. And another YouTuber, because I was sick and not able to do it when I wanted to, another YouTuber swooped in and did this video. I'm talking, of course, about Cody Leach, who did a video. He's a little bit younger than me. He was born in 90. I was born in 87. Okay? So we're 3 years apart. So we have similar memories for Disney Channel. I'm maybe a little bit older. I probably remember some of the more early 90s stuff that they had with the I would say puppets, but not puppet. Claymation hands making the things, and the Alice in Wonderland show that they had jumping through the mirror or whatever. Care Bears and Gummy Bears were on there. Yes, they did air those back to back. And My Little Pony, the original one, not the new stuff. But yeah, one of the old stuff. I remember the early 90s stuff. I had a videotape because back in the day, Disney Channel was one of those channels. They said, order Disney Channel now, because it wasn't a regular channel. So when we had a free preview, my mom recorded a whole tape. I wish I never did. I eventually ran out of new tapes and had to record over the old ones. I wish I would have kept. I wish I would have kept some of those. Not that I could watch them now. I don't have a VCR, but still. So I'm a little bit older than him. So yeah, he did this and I went, oh crap, I wanted to do a video. Now it's going to look like I'm writing his coattails, which I'm not, because I had this idea probably around the same time. Because the discourse was that Raven-Symoné was on a show, because everyone was talking about their Mount Rushmore Disney Channel actors. A lot of people didn't get it, or were too young to understand what it means for Mount Rushmore. Right? Mount Rushmore is of some of our greatest presidents to ever exist. They did a lot for us. Lincoln, Washington, Jefferson, and Teddy Roosevelt. 4 big ones. All old. All very old. Like, Washington was the first one, and Lincoln was the 16th. Jefferson was the 3rd. I don't know Teddy Roosevelt was, but they're all old. I've seen people do a Mount Rushmore and say, oh, it's Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, and the Sprouse twins. That's not, you're doing it wrong. And again, it could be because of what generation they are. Sure, that's yours. That's cool. But that's not what they mean. Because those presidents helped shape our country. So we need those 4 actors that help shape the channel. Right? And so I've now I've narrowed it down to 4. Is the cough going to be the new yawn? Where I wasn't really coughing until I went to record, and now... No, because I was coughing a lot. I hacked up this big old loogie of phlegm, thinking, maybe now it's done. Anyway, so I've chosen 4. 3 of which are very similar to Cody's, because I agree with him on those first 3. But I picked a different 4th one. Because I think that it's the she at 2 men, 2 women, equality. So I did that. I do have honorable mentions. So the one that Raven was presented with, she said it was her, Christy Carlson Romano, Shia LaBeouf, or maybe it was her, Hillary, Shia, and her, Hillary Duff, Shia LaBeouf, and Lee Thompson Young. And everyone went, who? And I'm going to go, put some respect on his name. You do not display Lee Thompson Young, okay? He was there. He was there. He was one of those L shapes. So yes, he absolutely does belong up there. But everyone, and then you have because the lady who interviewed was like, "What about Miley?" She goes, "No. All due respect to Miley, she came after," which is true. A little bit after. I mean, Raven was on the channel doing the Xenon movies before she had her show, but yeah. That helped. But yeah, and then Krista Carlson Romano went to Twitter and says Shia LaBeouf doesn't belong on there. A lot of people are agreeing with her because of what Shia LaBeouf did after he left the channel. Okay, then why is everybody saying Miley should be on there? She did almost the exact same thing. She left Disney Channel and completely went wild, like he did. Drugs involved with both of them. Sure, Shia went a little bit wilder, but still, if he doesn't deserve to be on there, in your minds anyway, why do you think Miley deserves to be? Oh, because she's Hannah Montana and she did all this stuff. Oh, and she came back to do that special. Yeah, for money. Like when they announced it, I'm like, okay, that should be interesting. But once you really, I didn't watch it, but I like to thank Aggressively Average. He did a video on this. And, yeah, it was bullshit. Because it's like, they had the premiere, and Moses Arias and the guy who played Jackson, I can't remember his name right now, were there, along with a couple others, randos that were in the background, like the bullies or something, but they weren't in the special. And Emily Osmond said, oh, I couldn't be in the special, I'm doing, George Diamandi's first marriage. Okay, but then you get the special, and it's just her family, Selena Gomez for some reason, and two other, Chappelle Roan and some other chick, who are there to basically worship her and tell her how they helped, how they inspired her to do music. And it's like, she only wanted people who were going to kiss her ass, and her family, and all that. And the main reason why I think she only did it for money is that they could have aired this on the Disney Channel as a special, but they went, nah, let's put it on a streaming service. People would have to pay to sign up and watch it. She did it for the money. She did it by the money. To say, hey, oh. I don't know. Yeah. So no. And she's not in my honorable mentions either. She don't deserve it. She's not. I don't know. You could put her on there if you want. I just don't think. I don't think she cares. Really, she did it for the money. So I have a list of honorable mentions here. We'll go through them. Yeah, aforementioned Raven Simone. She deserves some props for what she did for the channel. She was there in the Xenon movies. She did Cheetah Girls. That's So Raven. She came back for Raven's Home, so she deserves some recognition, as well as Krista Carlson Romano, who not only did Even Stevens and Cadet Kelly, but also Kim Possible, Big Bitter. So she deserves, some recognition. Then I have a few personal ones. Eric Von Detten from Brink, which was also mentioned by Cody. I didn't think he was going to, but yeah, Eric Von Detten, Brink, and So Weird, which was a show that was on back in the day. He was also Sid in Toy Story, which is not Disney Channel, but he had Disney lineage, and he was in the Princess Diaries. I mentioned I had a sister, right? And I have a sister. I didn't have. She's not dead. I have a sister. And then there's this ABC/Fox family movie called Christmas Every Day that he was in. He was also in the Escape to Witch Mountain remake. And I won't sort of mention Lindsay Lohan. She didn't really do much for the channel per se. It was mostly movies for main Disney movies, but she wasn't life size. But I don't think she was really the channel, but I'll just throw her in there. Kyle Merriman was in 3, count 3, Disney Channel original movies: Smart House, Lucky the Irish, and Reba and the Slight, which is an underrated one. And I'll throw Kirsten Storms in there because not only was she Xenon in 3 movies, but she was also in Johnny Tsunami, and she was a part of Kim Possible, like I mentioned. And then you have the Mulreys, Tia, Tamara, and Taj. Who their shows, Sister and Smart Guy, both reran on the channel in syndication. And they were also in Disney Channel original movies with Twitches and Twitches 2, and Hounded, and The Proof Point for Taj, and 17 Again, which was not a Disney movie. I mentioned that, but they aired on the channel. Did I put that as a December what year? I might have. I don't know. But yeah, I absolutely mentioned. One I didn't hear anyone mention is Kimberly J. Brown. You know, she was in the Halloween Town movies, the first 3. Then they recast her. Also in the movie Quince, which is the movie I want to review at one point, because that's a weird movie. Kind of. So I'll mention her. This is one I didn't think of. I'll give credit to this for Cody, because it blew my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, the Lawrence brothers. Joe, Matt, and Andy Lawrence. Again, their show aired reruns in syndication on Disney Channel. I say syndication, but it's not really. They aired reruns on Disney Channel. Brotherly Love. No matter where you are. They aired in reruns. Joe had a music video for Never Gonna Change My Mind. Never Gonna Change My Mind. Yeah, that on there. Plus, Horse Sense, Jumping Ship, and Andy did 2 movies on his own. The Other Me, and Going to the Mat. I swear there was one more he did. Plus, he was the voice of TJ on Recess for Disney, which mostly aired on ABC, but they did air on Disney Channel, you know, and Toon Disney. But yeah, and I wanted to mention, this is more on a high side thing. You got the Cheetah Girls, so it's other I mentioned Raven, but the other 3, Adrian Bailon, Keely Williams, and especially Sabrina Bryan and Will Friedle, who was also in Kim Possible. He was unstoppable, but he was also because Matt Lawrence, Cody mentioned Boy Meets World, that everybody runs on there on and Girl Meets World. They're both part of that later, but yeah, just all that, and that's my honorable mentions. So now we get to the main 4. Like I said, 2 men, 2 women, boom, and my first man I'm picking is Lee Thompson Young. And let me tell you why. Those of you have been going, who? Show the gif from Guardians of the Galaxy. Who? And I don't care if you say who or not. This man was Lee Thompson Young. This man was Jet Jackson. All right, the famous Jet Jackson. Show ran for 3 seasons on Disney Channel. He's also in the Jet Jackson movie. Neither of which are available to stream on Disney Plus. What is the deal, Disney? Is it because of how he died? He committed suicide. And that sucks. I mean, that's why a lot of people my age are like, yeah, you gotta put him on there. But he actually did. He was one of the first big Disney Channel stars. You know, the show came out in 99, I think. He was one of the first big stars. Because you could also point out a lot of the young pop stars that came from the Mickey Mouse, the new Mickey Mouse Club, the MMC from the late 80s or early 90s, like Justin Timberlake, J.C. Chasez, Christina Aguilera, Carrie Russell. She's not a pop star, but she was there. Ryan Gosling was in there, Britney Spears. But you can throw any of them because they were Disney Channel, but they had more of an effect outside of Disney than they did within Disney. So, not really. But Lee Thompson Young was one of the first big stars of the channel. You know? He was also in Johnny Tsunami. He was Sam in Johnny Tsunami, which I recently reviewed for the first time in December last year. Wasn't the first time I watched it. It was the first time I watched through the whole thing. And that's a good-ass movie. Right? They didn't bring him back for the sequel, which I haven't watched yet, but the guy, yeah, I think he belongs on that Mount Rushmore. And now, number 2, our first female, is Hilary Duff. Probably an obvious one. But yeah, she belongs with Lizzie McGuire, Cadet Kelly. Her music career started with Disney, blossomed beyond that. They were going to do that reboot of Lizzie McGuire, but she wanted to make it more adult. They said, no, we have to pander to kids. Which is, I feel, is always the mistake with reboots. It's the one thing that Fuller House got right, is they had the kids stuff, but they also made it more towards the original audiences that were now grown up. Whereas with Disney, they're like, nope, they have to be only for kids. And Girl Meets World, Girl Meets World brought back a lot of elements, a lot of characters from the original Boy Meets World, but then, by season 3, they're like, nah, we only want to focus on current stuff for the kids. And so that kind of, all of the stuff, all of the previous Boy Meets World fans were just like, nah, so the kids can watch it, and we're just gonna... I have watched through all of Girl Meets World, by the way, with my son, and it's not bad. I do agree that it drops off to be just for the kids, where season 2 had a lot of callbacks, right? But, yeah, so it's like, I see where she was going, also see where they were going, where she's like, I want it to be more adults, kind of like a Sex and the City type show, and they went, no, it has to be for kids, so they went, fuck it, we're not doing it. Right? Because I guarantee what it would have been, what Disney wanted, was going to follow her daughter, who also now has a little cartoon. My throat's a little... They're going to follow her daughter. What do you think you better? Whew! I need to be better. I need to start making more videos, because I run out of pre-recorded videos. Well, Sever to be Tuesday. But anyway, I guarantee that what Disney wanted it to be was about her, daughter, or kids. And she wanted it to be about her adult life, and it split. But Hilary Duff deserves to be on this list. Number 3, my second male, alright, is Shia LaBeouf. And I don't care what you think. He deserves to be on this list, okay? Again, he was one of those big stars back in the day, where they were, the channel was trying to find itself. In the 90s, the early 90s, in the mid 90s, they had a sort of identity. And then once we got to 2000s, they decided we need to make it more cool, and it became Zoog Disney. And I feel like Hilary Duff, Liz McGuire, and even Stevens kind of carried the Zoog era in a way before they realized what they really wanted, before they got to restructuring the Disney Channel to being a more normal looking and not Zoog, whatever the hell that was. They rebranded Zoog twice, where they re-changed the CGI robots that they were using. You remember that? Let's watch a Disney Channel movie. Well, the original song was, it's time for a Zoog movie, yeah. It's time for a Zoog movie. We're gonna watch a Zoog movie, yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. I thought it was cool at the time, but looking back, it's stupid. But even, Shia, pardon me. Especially, even Stevens in general, helped get through that era, and I think it works for the better. And Shia LaBeouf also deserves more credit than just even Steven. I was trying to get through this, but the cough made it a little bit help. Deserves more recognition to this even Stevens. He was in Hounded, great villain in Ronnie, right? And he was beyond Disney Channel. He was in Holes, right? Which is not a Disney Channel movie. I got an argument about this. All right, there's a guy on Instagram, I don't remember his name, but he said there are like 4 or 5 Disney Channel songs, and they put them in there. One of them was a song from Holes, and I went, well, Holes is not a Disney Channel movie, so it's disqualified. And I went, what do you mean? Like, yeah, it is. No, it's not. Yeah, I've watched it on Disney Channel. Cool. Doesn't mean it's a Disney Channel movie, though. And they're like, yeah, I have the DVD, it says Disney Channel. lie on the DVD, and no, it doesn't. And then when he keeps arguing, I'm like, look, I have to say it like 3 times. Yes, Pose is a Disney movie. Yes, they aired it on Disney Channel. No, it is not a Disney Channel original movie. I even had to put a list of all the movies that came out in the 2000s, around that time. Came out 2005, around 2005, right? 2004, whatever. To prove it wasn't a Disney Channel original movie. People just want to believe what they want to believe. It's not a Disney Channel original movie. But, you know, for that, you know, and of course, another decom he was in, even not the Even Stevens movie, but also True Confessions, which I did review this past year, and it's a good movie. It's another one, you know, it's a little more serious, and a little more close to my heart because it's about a kid with autism. And I think Shia LaBeouf did a good job. So, all right. Now we get to our fourth and final member of this, a female, a girl, if you will. And in my research, I found out that she overqualifies for this, okay? She's been a part of the channel since the year 2000. Yes, when she first co-starred in The Ultimate Christmas Present. Yes, from there, she had minor roles in Lilo and Stitch the series, and this and that. She was on Phil of the Future for like the first season as a recurring character named Tia. And she was also in many Disney Channel original movies before hitting it big with her first co-starring role in the TV series. She was in movies like I said, Ultimate Christmas Present, Stuck in the Suburbs, and Get a Clue, before landing the role of London Tipton on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and eventually The Sweet Life on Deck. She guest starred in other things. She also guest starred on she also was in the Sweet Life movie, and I'm talking about Brenda Song. A lot of people would say, isn't that too close? But as I mentioned, she had been a part of the channel in some way, shape, or form since the year 2000. I know she was doing other stuff. She was on the 100 Days of Eddie McDowell for a little while, too. But I feel like she deserves, and I've never seen anyone really mention her, and I feel like she deserves more recognition than someone like Kristen Carlson Romano or even Raven Simone, because she had been there long. Tenure is the thing. She had been there the longest out of all of them. She was there from 2000, had different kind of roles here and there, and didn't leave the channel until after the Sweet Life movie in 2008. I'm sorry, 2011, excuse me. I reviewed that movie. It's no good movie. But, yeah, I think she was also a host of the Pass the Plate segments in between commercials. It was kind of cool. They told you about different cultures and everything. She was the host of that. So, yeah, she deserves recognition. More so than a lot of the ones. I mean, than a lot of the ones you'll mention, like Miley Cyrus or Demi Lovato or Selena Gomez. Fooing on them. Okay? It's Brenda Song. So there it is. My Disney Channel Mount Rushmore. And yes, I use the old logo in my thumbnail. Because that's the point. Okay? I wouldn't use like the current one. I'm like, no! If you use the generation you're from. So, yeah. So what are your thoughts on my Mount Rushmore? What's your Mount Rushmore? Let me know so much. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Scotty. You're not. No, I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one. It's been a little while.